Hello there, this is Nicole Watkins, the Director of Author Support here at Morgan James Publishing. And today I've got the wonderful pleasure of speaking with Emmanuel Ntibonera, author of Congo Sole. Emmanuel, thank you so much for being here with me today. I'm so excited to talk about your new release and just learn a little bit more about the story behind the book.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here. I've been waiting this for about 3 years now, so I'm really excited and can't wait to start sharing the stories and the amazing things and the miracles that are in this book. So thank you for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So let's jump in. Tell us a little bit about what readers can expect from your story.
Oh, as I always say, I'm a really strong believer. I'm a Christian, and just having to, anybody's going to get a copy of this book, there's a lot of funny stories in here. There's a lot of miracles that God has done in my life. And if you're looking for something to uplift and encourage you, there's a lot of stories in here that shows how God can get someone from nothing to something. There's also a lot of suffering, and we look at coming from a country that's been going through wars since 1996 until today, and seeing the things that have been going on that don't even get media coverage. So you get to see, and if you're someone that is interested in global mission and interested in things that are going on around the world, this Congo Sole is a great book to read, especially at this moment where we're going through a lot of difficulties in the US right now, and you're looking for something that will give you hope, and you're looking for something that will encourage you and uplift you. Congo Sole has all it takes. So what I'm encouraging everyone is to go get a copy, because this is an amazing story, an amazing testimonies in here that God saving my life and my family, God getting us from a war-torn country to here in the US, just the whole journey of God providing and protecting us. And in the midst of all chaos, I'm still alive today because of God. So Congo Sole is a great book to get. And I'm telling you, you're not going to be disappointed.
What a wonderful start to just talking about this amazing story. And I can really tell from the front cover and the title that shoes are a key theme throughout your book. Can you talk a little bit about the significance of shoes and how it relates to your story?
Shoes. One of the stories in this book is I remember when I was a refugee back in Kenya, and I lacked a pair of shoes, and I sent a prayer request, and I told the people that are praying around, and you pray for me because I need a shoes. And I went on my knees, and they laid their hands on me and they prayed for me. And after a day or so, a couple that was touched, they brought me a pair of shoes. And I didn't know that God was writing my story. So when you look at that story, and I'm the one that actually have given lots of shoes to the people, and this means a lot to me. Back in the Congo, I got my first pair of shoes when I was 10 years old. And this is something that, how God has blessed us so much in this country, where we have more than 10 pairs of shoes in a closet that are collecting dust. But someone like me that had to be 10 years old to get my first pair of shoes, that means all those years I was walking without shoes. And I had to make a trip back home in 2015. And it was just surprising when I went back home, seeing a lot of kids have no shoes on. And I was like, oh my goodness, I looked at my own life and see how much God has blessed me, that have at least 10 pairs of shoes that I don't even wear. They're all collecting dust in my closet. And I was like, there is no way. That's how the vision came to me to collect shoes, because I felt like shoes is something that brings dignity. Shoes is something that giving to these kids, it delivered hope and encouragement that they can walk again, that they have no fear of walking on contaminated soil. So shoes for me means a lot. When I go deliver shoes, last year, 2019, I delivered more than 50,000 shoes in the Congo. And I went to every villages and getting these kids that can't even walk no more, and kids that can't even attend school because their toes have been infected. And I had to get them. I had to I had to remove the jiggers in their toes. I did that. I had to put on a new pair of shoes on them. And just seeing the joy of these kids getting excited and jumping and going around and showing off to their friends that, hey, look, I have a new pair of shoes on. That's the greatest things I've ever done in my life. So shoes for me means a lot. For someone that grew up in an environment where I could not afford a pair, but then I have more than 10 pairs in my own closet. And going there and changing lives is an unbelievable experience for me. So shoes for me is a platform to get the message out there and to encourage the Congolese people that there is hope in the midst of whatever's going on, that God is able to save. God is able to uplift you. And them putting on a pair of shoes, they're able to stand up and go to the market, go to school, and they feel good about themselves. They feel safe walking on contact themselves without fear. So shoes means a lot to me.
Such a powerful message, Emmanuel. And you've survived so much in your life. I just want to ask, what was it that made you go back to Congo? And when you went there, was there anything that surprised you?
What made me want to go back to Congo? I must say it's God that actually reminded me that I need to go back home. And from everything that I had to go through, now God finally opened an opportunity for me. And then I moved here 2019 July, and I attended school and I graduated, and I got lots of pair of shoes that I don't have to starve no more. I don't have to worry about my life. I became so comfortable that I wanted just to settle down. I forgot about so many things, and I forgot about even or the place where that I came from. It's like I was so comfortable. Even praying was hard. And I remember when I was in Congo, I used to pray like so much, crying, asking God to help me, to get me out of that country and move me here and moving up in a safe environment. So moving here, it made me so comfortable. And then I forget about so many things. But then one day, it was kind of a reminder for me that, hey, remember where you came from, that there's kids and there's children like you, there's people like you are going through the same situation that you went through. Now you are comfortable and you're forgetting where you came from. For me, that was a reminder. And then just me being surrounded by my family and people that believe in God. So God reminded me that you need to go back. Because I remember when I was running out from more, I could not look back because we were told when you're moving, just keep going forward. Don't look behind. But now I'm at a position where I can look back and make a difference. So 2015, I went back home and I was surprised. I just like, oh my goodness, I didn't know that people still going through this pain. I thought, because it's so like every country is improving. There's a lot of changes taking place in different areas, but Congo, still the same, actually kept getting worse and worse. And while I'm walking and I'm noticing kids have no shoes on and there's no infrastructure, there's no peace in this country. People live in fear. And then I was like, oh my goodness. So that was a reminder for me that there's a calling in my heart, that there's something that I need to do. And that's why when I came back, I was like, okay, and then that's when I started collecting shoes. And I started in my own family, gathering a lot of pair of shoes. And then that's how it went viral. And a lot of people bought shoes. But when I went to Congo, I met a lot of people that are in pain, women that have been abused, raped, young girls. And I met a lot of, and when you look at my book cover, the picture here this is former child soldiers. I made them and I collected all of them. And in these pictures here, some of my brothers are here, you just could not see them, but I was the one, I took the picture, but my brother is here and another one is here. And this picture meant a lot to me. And I fed these kids, I gave them shoes, I spent time with them, and they're sharing their amazing stories of how they were abducted, how they were taken to the rebels, and how the UN brought them back, and how they had to deny their family, how they took an oath, how they killed and all these things. And me being a child that was almost getting abducted as well, it was a very moving story. So I took the picture and I was like, when I write a book, I'm gonna make this a cover for my book. And seeing all these things still happening and nobody talks about it. Seeing people still dying, you don't get no media coverage. And the country is so much blessed, but we are so poor because we don't have peace. And people take advantage of what is in the country and nobody care about human life at all. And that was like a reminder for me that I have to do something. I have to be the voice to the voiceless. I have to speak up about these issues. I have to raise awareness that I wanted to start a movement. My book is a movement. It talks about what God has done for me. It talks about how God can save, how God can uplift, how God can provide. But at the same time, it talks about the things that we need to do to bring change to my country. And I feel like God is using me to bring these things to light, to be the voice, to be the person that can stand on their behalf and raise. Because I believe that when we gather together and start having a conversation about this thing, that's how change starts. So I am just a light. I'm just a simple guy that God is using me. As I always say, this is not about me. This is not about me. This is about God. This is about also giving back to where I came from. So Congo Sole means a lot to me. And I believe that this will change the world and people get to hear my story and the steps they need to take to bring change to my own land.
Absolutely. Such inspiring words, Emmanuel, and just the overall message of your book is something that I think many of us, especially here in the US, can really refer to as a good reminder of just how lucky we are. Just as you said, you know, many of us, I know many of those watching today can probably count, you know, 10 or more pairs of shoes, you know, such a simple thing for us that many don't even have access to. So I think it's just such an important and imperative reminder of looking at, you know, not only ourselves but outside of ourselves, and how we can help contribute to those that, you know, don't have those simple necessities. I do want to ask, because I'm sure there's going to be many of those that are watching today that want to keep up with this movement and be aware of those things that you have going on. Where would be the best place that they can get that information and stay connected with you?
Yeah, they can find me in all the platforms. My website is emmanuelntibonera.com, actually, which I'm launching it soon today, actually. They can find me on Instagram as Emmanuel Ntibonera as well. They can find me on Twitter as Emmanuel Ntibonera. They can find me on Facebook as Emmanuel Ntibonera. And when you just type Ntibonera, you're going to see a lot of Ntiboneras there. Just click whatever name, send a message. It's going to come back to me, Emmanuel Ntibonera. All the platforms. And yeah, and then reach out to us. We're ready to travel. I'm getting ready for my tour. I have a lot of speaking engagements. So reach out to us and then we're going to come. And I can tell you that you get this copy and your life will never be the same again.
Excellent, excellent. So again, for those watching, if you want to be a part of this movement and learn more of what you can do to participate, definitely reach out to Emmanuel and connect with him. And also just know that Emmanuel's book is available wherever books are sold. So definitely connect with him or go through your favorite bookstore to get a copy of this and just become a part of more and of this really, really important movement. Emmanuel, thank you so much for speaking your wise words with us today, and we'll definitely look forward to seeing how things continue to progress as time goes on, and just how we can keep this movement and this message moving forward. Thank you so much.